Hi, my dear friend. This is Elizabeth, and thank you very much for being here in Sube la Vibra. Today we have Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's the author of The Biology of Belief. He explained in this part what is our relation with the planet. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Thank you. And I just want to make you one little question about the environment. What can we do for our planet? Because I know you are very engaged for the protection of the planet and the environment. And I would like to listen something. How can we contribute to the planet?
Well, how we can contribute to the planet is this. Both the church and science have separated us from nature. Mm-hmm. I say, how did the church do that? I say, well, in the story of Genesis, nature was created first, then the people were added later. So it's like, oh, we were separate, nature came, then we came. We're not connected to nature. That was the belief that we have dominion over nature, that we control. It's like, that's a bad story because it separates us from nature. It says, oh, you could destroy nature, it's okay because it's not us. I go, no, we are nature. If you destroy the environment, you destroy yourself. That's what we're facing right now. Science didn't help us either, because when you say, well, how did we get here from the story of science? They say, oh, evolution, which was mutations, over time. The mutations changed species A over time into species B. And I say, oh, what's the story of mutation? And here's the point. According to that belief, mutations are random mutations. That means accidents. Mm-hmm. So if I say, how did I get here? And I say, a whole bunch of genetic accidents. Mm-hmm. Then I ask myself, then why am I here? Well, if I got here by accident, then there's no purpose of why I'm here. I'm just here. And that's why science is also, it says we came through nature, but we didn't come here with any, mission. We just got here through accident. Mm-hmm. This is not true. The indigenous people of this world, the Native Americans, First Nation people in Canada, the Aboriginals in Australia, the Indians in South America, before Western world took over, how did they live? They said this is a garden. They came into a garden, and their job was to what? Be gardeners and help the garden. And yet the Europeans came over here, and the first thing they said is, we control the garden, and they destroyed the garden. And the natives are like, they're not even here, most of them, because we destroyed them too. And what was the point? And the point is this: we have lost our connection with nature, that we think in some way that we are separate from nature, that the environment could collapse and we're going to be okay. And I go, are you kidding me? We are nature. If the environment collapses, we collapse with it too. And this is what science is telling people right now. We're facing what is called a mass extinction. I go, what's that mean? I said, in history, 5 times already, life was thriving on this planet, not necessarily with people, but animals and plants, and it was lush and it was beautiful. 5 different times, something happened, boom. And 70 to 90% of life disappeared because of some accident. The last big accident was about 66 million years ago. There were dinosaurs in a lush tropical jungle world that was lush, big garden. And a comet hit the earth near Mexico. And it caused the environment to collapse. And the dinosaurs disappeared, and the big jungles disappeared, and all that kind of stuff, and we started all over again. 66 million years gets us to today. And then what are we finding? Today, we've already, since 1970, we've lost 66% of the animals on this planet. That 70% is a full-out extinction. And yet, they say there won't even be fish in the ocean in 2048. That's not that far in the future. Why? Because we've overfished them, we polluted the water, we destroyed the breeding grounds. So nature didn't get rid of the fish. Humans got rid of the fish. Humans are putting pollutants and poisons into the ground, fracking, throwing toxic stuff into the water. The food we eat, the industrial farmers, when you see a picture of a farmer wearing a hazard suit, spraying the plants that you're going to eat.
Yes.
It's like, why is he wearing a hazard suit? Because what he's spraying is toxic. Yeah, but he's spraying it on what? The food you're going to eat. Obviously, if you're going to eat industrial food, you're getting toxins and all that. We're destroying it with Roundup and Monsanto and all that stuff like that. And I say, why is it relevant? Because we need to change our belief. We have to go back to the nature of the indigenous people who were here and say, look, instead of destroying this environment, we're supposed to start helping build this environment. We've lost our mission. Our mission wasn't to destroy it, it was to maintain it. And because our programming from the church that said we're not part of nature to science that says we're just an accident of nature has taken away the meaning of being an animal on the planet. Every organism on this planet was involved in creating harmony and balance. And we're the only ones that are not living in harmony and balance. And look what we've done to the planet. We're creating what is now called the sixth mass extinction. And human behavior is doing that. And that's why I'm so glad that we got into this conversation, Elizabeth, because human behavior is something that we're doing. It's not from the outside, it's from the inside. And that's why our discussion is so important, because if we don't want to go extinct, then our behavior has to change and say, we better start loving this planet instead of, pillaging and stealing and robbing Mother Nature. It's time for us to take care of it. And so the conversation that we have had, it says, you want to change the planet, start here first. Then the rest of the world will be taken care of. So it's really wonderful because you don't have to go out and fight the world. You could just change how you believe and how you change. Because since our consciousness is creating, what if we have a consciousness of harmony and health and love? Then I said, well, that's what we would create. And I said, that's what we need to do. That's what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you so much. This is so powerful, and I appreciate and honor your work because it's really amazing what you have done.
Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. But again, I really want to thank your audience, because your audience are those people that can make a difference if they want to. And so giving me an opportunity to let them know they're powerful, except for the program, that they can change the program, and the experience of heaven, you don't have to wait till you die, you can have it right here. And that's the way I've been living for 22 years, and I am the happiest guy in the world, because it was not the way my first 40 or so, 50 years. I had to relearn and reprogram. And once I did that, my whole world changed. And every one of us can do that. So that's really what the message is all about.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bruce Lipton. It was a pleasure to have you here. And we will contact you in brucelipton.com, yeah?
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, everyone out there, because all of us together, we can return this back to the garden. Thank you.